about Nirmala ma'am, I would say any woman, ma'am, it is for every woman, I must say. Any woman who understands the problems of running a home will surely understand the problems of running a country. And Nirmala ma'am from the political field, and also being a very renowned lawyer, I did not say much. She will surely say everything.
May I first of all thank Nari Shakti Women's Organization for taking out time from their legal field, and as a social responsibility they have arranged this wonderful program of celebration of International Women's Day, and the initiatives taken by Ranjan and all her friends. I'm not taking much time in taking names, but of course my colleagues are sitting here along with me, brings my old memories. Honorable Madam Justice Roshan Ladviji, my another dear friend Rohini ji, Ranjan, and of course to this one, Gajke Madam, and all the dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. There are women who are young lawyers are sitting behind.
Students.
They are students, so they are college students, so very nice. I will appreciate that Madam Dalvi has such a long experience, and she has said and she has thrown light on various issues which she handled when she was a judge, and how justice needs to be done to the petitions where women come, litigants come for giving justice. So that's one thing. And Rohini also spoke about what is the empowerment and how the male domination and what is important for women, and she has thrown the light from the social point of view. I'll take only 4 to 5 minutes and bring 2-3 important points. That one slogan we should not forget, that normally we say that behind every successful man, woman, every successful man there is a woman, and men say that there is a woman behind every successful man. So I think that with the growing importance of women's empowerment, there is a new slogan, or maybe that it has been circulated everywhere, that behind every successful woman is herself. So we should not forget that she herself is there behind her success, and that should be also circulated. Of course the credit should be given. If a man is there, there is no wrong, nothing wrong in saying that there is a man, and if a man says that there is a woman, there is no harm in saying so. But we always should not, treat ourselves as a secondary citizen. That patriarchal mindset is so much strong within ourselves that many times I see loose talking, that women are enemies of women, saas and bahu ka jhagda and all that. That has given so much wrong ideas and perception about women, that men also feel very happy when they say, वो तो औरत ही औरत की दुश्मन होती है. It has become so common that आपकी दुश्मन आदमी थोड़े है. If you see the jhagda between sasra and daughter-in-law is not, it is always a sass behind the destruction of a woman. So I think that there is a time that we should not think like that. This is a patriarchal society. Rohini touched that topic quite well. That try to understand that discrimination is there, gender discrimination is there, patriarchal mindset is there. Since 5,000 years or maybe more than that we have been the victims of patriarchy. We have been victims of male domination. We have been subjected to the subjugations of the male domination. And this is how now the amendments have come, new laws have come. The constitution has given equal rights to women. Every citizen is equal. But many times we see that this equality remains only on paper. It remains in constitution. That we have to struggle quite a lot still further to see to it that the equality is brought into spirit also. I am very happy that the judges and the judiciary has been giving a lot of justice to women who go in the court of law and seek justice, and wonderful laws are coming, good amendments are coming. I don't think that now we need any new law. Only thing that the implementation of the laws is very important to give her the inheritance property, the justice in inheritance property, the justice if there is a dowry debt, if there is a dowry not debt, the dowry demand, if there is a maintenance order, even giving the children back to the women, etc. I have been also, we are sitting in the area which is a Nariman Point, and we are in a wonderful place, but we have to remember that 97% of the women are in unorganized sector. We are only 3% who are working in bank. They are being properly placed and employment is there. Such percentage is only 3%. Today we are addressing the problems of women who are less than even 3%. Less than. Who goes to the court? I would like to make one appeal to all the lawyers that when we talk of empowerment, it should not be a lip service. It should be a real service. And Regulate Authority Services, the act is there, but I hardly see women applying to get empaneled. I would request I take opportunity of this program and say that majority of the lawyers, men and women, should ensure that they at least 10% of their practice should be given to the women who really cannot afford justice. The profession of lawyer is costly, so much costlier than even doctors. Sometimes you have to talk little quicker also. When I see and hear from the needy and poor clients who come for a free legal advice, it is very shocking the way we charge from the clients. But we have to keep in mind that our profession is there to give justice and not to see that the cost of that justice. There should not be tagged that how much the fees you demand. So see to it that your profession is so noble. And when we talk of empowerment of women, we should also take it as a responsibility and duty to see that some percentage of legal advice should be given free. If a woman who is poor and needy comes to you, see to it that you help her. You earn more from your clients who are rich. But be sensitive. If you are sensitive and sensible, your profession, automatically you will think what is women empowerment. Giving speeches is of no use. But see to it that things are practiced and women are given free legal justice. Now, if you see the rural women, in Yavatmal district there are 3,000 women who have become widow. They don't have anything to eat at home. If you go to Bid and Marathwada, they have started worrying because there is no water even to drink. If you go to rural areas, even I think 100 kilometers from here, there is no food for the fire and they don't know how to cook their evening meals. This is the situation which is not far out from Mumbai, even if you go to Thane district. So the point which I would like to see that when we talk about women empowerment, one needs to see that the problems of rural women, the problems of tribal women, the problems of women staying in slums, the problems of women who are staying under the male domination and staying under the patriarchy. Even now the sex ratio, there is so much of disparity that for after every 1,000 boys, the girls ratio is 922 and it is diminishing day by day. And when we talk of women empowerment, we have to see that the sex ratio is balanced properly. In tribal area the sex ratio is better but not in urban areas. It shows what? In urban area there is need to teach what is women empowerment but not in tribal and rural. People who are poor, they eat whatever they get, but here a woman is discriminated by the people who actually are not having any, there is no reason for discrimination, but still there is a gender discrimination because the patriarchy permits. So I don't want to say much about so much in detail because as I promised that I will talk very less. This topic is so important, this topic is so vast that the lesser it is books and volumes can be said and written on it, and you all are empowered women, you all are educated, you all are lawyers. So
So there is no need for me to give you lecture about it. One thing I can say with sincere heart, that because I was a lawyer, I was trained by judges, I was trained by my colleagues, I was also molded properly. I learned a lot from my colleagues in the legal profession. And whatever I stand today, I owe to my bar members. They taught me how to maintain dignity and decorum of the court. They taught me how to hold dignity and decorum in the society. And if you call me as a politician, I don't know. But if you think that little bit even if I have achieved only because of my good colleagues like this. And this was my Kurukshetra where I learned how to face the society and how to put up the women's problems. Because I was a lawyer, I could stand for election. Because I was a lawyer, I gave free legal advice to my voters. And this is how they got elected to me. And I shifted my base from politics, from legal field to politics. And from politics to social work. And from social work to help the women empowerment. So I think the lawyers can do wonders for the society and can do human services. Thank you so much.